We are the Water for Life group, looking at the engineering grand challenge of providing access to clean water on a worldwide scale. It is important to human survival that everyone has access to clean and safe water sources. To tackle this problem, we are looking into solutions through technology and ways to educate people on how to get themselves clean water in methods that are personalized to their living situations and environments. Out of the many grand challenges that exist, the goal to provide clean water to everyone on Earth is by far one of the most daunting. About 1 out of every 6 people living today do not have access to clean water, and more than double that number lack basic water sanitation. Additionally, this graph shows that over the past 2 decades we have not taken huge strides in improving the situation. On this map, the worst consequences come when there is both not much water available and no resources to clean it. In places like North Africa, there is very little water to begin with, whereas other areas like Southeast Asia have basic water sources such as rivers, lakes, or annual rainfall that could potentially support the population. Most third world countries, however, still struggle to make this water safe to drink. As seen in the previous slide, the issue at hand is not always a result of a lack of water. Many countries across the world have water sources available to them, but are not able to clean the water on a large scale. Inhabitants of overpopulated cities often live in very confined areas with water sources that are frequently contaminated. This takes a serious toll on the health of those living there. Some of the problems being faced do not depend on the economic standing of a country and its inhabitants. This is a picture of the Enterprise Bridge in California, a state full of engineers and environmentally aware citizens, and yet the effects of the drought that have plagued the state for a number of years are painfully clear. As the effects of climate change continue to be seen, droughts will need to be dealt with in a more efficient manner so that the repercussions won't be as serious. While both pollution and droughts can be predicted to a certain degree, and therefore can be worked on before they reach their worst, natural disasters of many sorts can create chaos that destroys water infrastructure systems and makes clean water almost unattainable. In places like America and Australia, there is an elaborate system of water purification plants and pipes that bring clean water to virtually every household. When natural disasters strike, these systems are easily destroyed. This is an even worse issue in countries that struggled to provide clean water to begin with. Haiti was struck by a massive earthquake in 2010, bringing down hundreds of buildings and killing thousands of people. Besides finding shelter, one of the main issues faced by emergency responders was getting the thousands of newly homeless residents of Haiti clean water. The United States and many other countries shipped in a countless number of water bottles, but the issue of rebuilding Haiti's water infrastructure is still an issue today. These problems, from tornadoes to oil spills, are unexpected, hard to prepare for, and very hard to deal with. As time goes on, however, we get better with preventing them and cleaning them up. While the issues we face as a planet are fairly overwhelming, thousands of people are at work trying to tackle these problems, and a wide range of solutions exist today. Many people, especially those in cities near the ocean, lay their hopes for clean water in the sea. The largest water source on the planet could provide us with clean water through desalination, the process of removing dissolved salts from the water. Desalinated water generally meets or exceeds standards for water quality, and it can also reduce pressure on existing freshwater supplies. Water purification plants are a more common method that countries use to clean and recycle water. The process includes screening to keep out natural contaminants, coagulation, where chemicals are used to remove dirt and small particles, and later sedimentation, where the water sits until the majority of particles fall to the bottom. Finally, the water is passed through a number of filters until it is clean. This method is cost-effective and sustainable, but the water produced is often used for agriculture or cleaning instead of drinking. For countries where the money for large water purification plants is not available, solar stills could be a good option. The simple distillation process of solar stills replicates the way rain occurs. The sun's energy heats water to the point of evaporation, and the vapors condense on a plastic surface for collection. The main drawback is that solar stills have a low production capacity. A single solar still would not be enough for the average family. There are a number of small and portable filters that are safe, clean, and easy to maintain. UV water purification uses ultraviolet light to kill microorganisms that are frequently in the water. Combined with regular water filters that use a number of layers to remove particles, these options provide people living near polluted water sources with a secure source of water. Water conservation techniques are the easiest way to maintain sources of clean water without the use of any technology. Things like taking shorter showers or doing the laundry less frequently can have a huge effect on water supplies when performed on a state or countrywide level. A large part of this movement comes down to educating people about water conservation, which calls for a focus on personalized learning. Since this issue is so complex, it's important to educate people from a variety of perspectives, and that's where personalized learning comes in. There are a lot of different problems that have led to a lack of clean water, and many of these are regional. We chose to focus on 3 main areas and the ways in which we can best educate the local residents on cleaning and conserving water. One area that's having a major water shortage is California. As residents of a wealthy state, many Californians use as much water as they want without paying attention to the repercussions. The most effective way to educate people is an awareness campaign of advertisements or billboards to get people's attention. If the situation gets more serious, increasing water bills would also be an effective way to get people to learn about water conservation. There is also a huge lack of clean water in many third world countries. A good solution to this that keeps the water in the hands of the communities is to build wells. It is important not only to provide volunteers and contractors, but also to teach people how to dig the wells themselves so that they can continue to build in other villages and on their own. After building these wells, it is imperative that the people using them understand how to maintain them. They must be taught how to use the wells properly without damaging them, how to check if the water is actually clean, how to clean the wells, and how to repair them in case they are damaged. Simply building the wells will not create a lasting change for many third world countries. The best way to guarantee clean water for a long time is to teach the residents how to continue to maintain their water source. The third situation where people desperately lack clean water is in places where natural disasters have occurred. These disasters have always been followed by a huge shortage in water supplies. In order to create a more effective response system, we should educate people across the world on emergency preparedness and make sure that the emergency relief organizations are well equipped to access, transport, and supply clean water. An example of how this personalized education might look can be seen in the USC Engineers Without Borders organization. A few years ago, they were tasked with providing clean water to a small community in El Salvador. Not only did they work with the community to construct the system, they taught people how the system worked and how to maintain it. Programs like this could easily be implemented on a worldwide scale, beginning the change that is necessary to overcome this grand challenge. Overall, developing ways to provide access to clean water for everyone will be a very difficult task. A multitude of problems need to be addressed, and there are many aspects to consider in the effort to achieve the goal. The process will require hard work from many engineers, teachers, and communities, but the problem is urgent and serious enough to motivate people to get up and get to work.